What are our top 10 rogue contenders? Just slightly underneath the top 10. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome Phantom Knight, Orchist, Horus, Pile. Yeah, so this is, I think this deck actually has a lot more going for it. You can think, because now you can use your Horus package to discard your Phantom Knights, and you can discard those terrible bricks that you put in your deck because you wanted to play Orcus cards today, but you realize that maybe not playing that is okay. 60 cards, by the way. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those decks that people are going to look at for this format and go, oh, okay, like, we can mess around with this. The crazy ideas are flowing, alright? Like, people are like, oh, it's back. Any two monsters is full Orcust combo. Are you guys ready? Yeah. I don't know if it's consistent or not, but, people want to try it out. They want to get excited for this. Okay, let's give it to them. Let's put it on the top of the rogue contenders. Next up is Cashed Hero. Now, after watching this deck go, 10-0, 9-0 in Indy? And, a lot of people were like, oh, I think you have to be a very good player to play Cashed Hero right now. And also, we just got Fenrir back. So, people are going to be testing out the waters out here, wanting to see what we can do. What level of craziness can we kind of bring to the table out here for this deck and actually try things out? And I think, once again, we go back to that really good player stat. If somebody is able to play this deck correctly, they're a monster. The mid-range control, the evenlies, if you're playing, whatever Raid Raptor package you want to play with Zephyros the Elite, you have some dumb coverage that you can actually get. And if you can play the deck perfectly, it's beautiful. It's pretty crazy. Next up is Sky Striker. As long as you cannot lose to Troll and Lockbird. Wait. Activate Upstart Goblin? Resolution Draw? Like, that's kind of... I know, right? I know. Upstart's at 3. Guess what? Every Sky Striker player out there is like, triple thrust, 2 talents, 3 Upstart Goblins, double engage. And I just lost to the Drawn Lockbird. I cannot wait to hear stories of this actually happening. People are going to have some of the craziest boards that they can actually make up. All right, they're going to be like, this is crazy. I opened up double engage, double Upstart. I have full combo, and then boom, draw. I do think it's not going to happen every match. You have Cross-Out Designator to kind of help you along with this. But let's call it what it is. It's a problem. But, hey, it's a rogue deck now. Good stuff. Next up is Unchained. So, that consistency hit on Unchained. Is it harsh to bring it all the way down from the best deck and kind of tuck it away into rogue? Or am I just being really mean to the deck? I'm putting it in rogue right now because I don't know where it's going to go. It's the unknown factor that I think has me the most questionable of this, because losing that double consistency buff that the deck had going for it was huge. All right, but, knocking a deck off a pedestal from a tier 1 sitting as Supreme King to, taking away its negates from the DDD side of things and really, really knocking it. Well, consistency hits are a heck of a thing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! They really, really do aim to check a lot of these decks. Next up is Chimera Branded Illusion. Yeah. I still hate to say this, but the Chimera Illusion deck just feels like it continues to get worse and worse every one of these lists. I don't know what it is. I feel like it shouldn't be moving down at the rate it's moving down, but I don't know. Regular Branded is just a stronger deck. What do you do with the Chimera stuff? Oh, you ping one out of your opponent's hand. We do have a new illusion monster coming here. And we did see somebody was trying out one of the OCG ideas where they were testing out Horus with this instead of, the Fallen of Albat stuff. Really cute, by the way. You should give some consideration to that idea. I think that idea is really cute. It really has not been explored a lot in the TCG, and maybe that's something that could actually save this deck, kind of make you consider and go, hey, you know, that's actually kind of a good idea. Next up is Marin sess. Oh, water, Cyverse. Oh my god. Is this one of the last like acting Cyverse decks left besides Salad? I think so. We're gonna put Salad here as well as a, you know, giant help as well, because both of these decks, huge Cyverse decks. Obviously, Salad gets a little bit better with Bonfire, but I'm still gonna leave them both down in Rogue because nothing really changes, honestly. Like, it's not like Salad's going to really be able to utilize, you know, Bonfire. Once Promethean Princess comes out, it's a different story, but that's February, you know. But for now, Marin says, build the towers, end turn. Your opponent looks at your towers and goes, all right, I can't out it, next game. And then, you know, so forth. That's the cycle of Marin says. Like, it's kind of boring when you think about it, but that's the luxury of playing the deck, I suppose. Next up is Vanquish Soul. We lost TC Boo, Robbie. How is it still... You know how many of these builds didn't even play? There can only be one. At this point, there can only be one was like a little free luxury. That, you know, you built your board, you're like, okay, so as a Vanquish Soul player, you go first. You set up, you do this little crazy field. Your opponent looks at it and goes, oh, you have the trap as well? Okay. Kaiser Vari, all that. That's how I feel looking at a Vanquish Soul board, man. Like, it's so intimidating at the end of the board that, you know, it is just that. So I do think the Vanquish Soul still very much remains a strong rogue contender, strictly because, hey, you know, whatever this deck wants to do, it typically opens it against me. That and Purely, both of those decks have a vendetta against me. I'm never going to fully understand how I'm the only one that gets absolutely mollywopped by these, but okay. Next up is Synchro decks. So, Junk Speeder, Black Wings, and Crimson Dragon. I always love lumping these three decks together because what do? Functionally the same gosh darn thing. Big Synchro go burr. I think Blackwing's been the only one to really break the mold as a laid out here, because it literally had a huge weekend of success. I swear we saw 4 Blackwing decks cawing out of events, and I'm still genuinely impressed that, you know, out of all of these regionals, all of a sudden Blackwing's kind of storming back in here, kind of showcasing, hey, you know, we're still here. Nothing really left with us. It's just nobody wanted to innovate with us. So, based on all of that consideration, you know, it's good. But Junk Speeder didn't get hit. Okay, Synchro up. Build your board. Same thing, Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend combo, go. So forth. I mean, it's build a Synchro deck. Decide however you want to rev up your deck and build your board. Like, kind of that easy. Next up is Sprite. Sprite. 3-starter. Okay, so this is where we can mention the Runic for Hire Sprites, the Evil Twin Sprite builds. You're not playing regular Sprite. Like, sorry to tell you that. If you're trying to play regular Sprite, 2 years ago called, and they said, get back there. All right, it's not worth it. All right, stop it. Honestly, I think the Sprite variants are good. Starter coming back as a consistency upgrade is good, but I don't think it's enough to move this deck up out of, you know, the lower top 10. Maybe, you know, it will make a difference. I don't know. The Sprite board's not like the scariest thing in the world anymore. All of these decks have found ways to kind of gas through it, and it leaves them in such a terrible position afterwards, because you break their board, they're done. Elf was their recovery plan. They don't have that anymore. And last but not least is old reliable Sword Soul. Barabi was Rika, Sun Aval, all this other stuff. Sword Soul. Alright. The other decks were there. I just didn't put them on this video to discuss them. Sword Soul is consistent. Alright. Makes the same boring board every single time. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not. I don't actually understand how Sword Soul still functions in this current day and age. Well, I mean, I do, but I don't. It surprises me every time we look at this and we go, hey, you know, what's going on here? You know, what has led this to happen? Well, it's reliability, consistency. Regional's not in the U.S., but it's a story from another day. So, what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. See your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Peace out. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.